Hey guys, welcome back to my garden. My name is Laurie. If you are new here, I live in northern Utah, gardening zone 7A. As you can see, I have some final blooms of my roses back here. We had an unseasonably warm fall, but we had our first frost last night. So it's a perfect time for me to come in and cut back my roses just enough to get them ready for winter. So I don't do my hard cut back in the fall. I do that in the spring, but I come through and cut back all the wild long branches and cut everything about waist or hip height to get it ready for winter. So when the snow comes, snow's not going to weigh it down and break anything. So you just want to have it all ready for that. So let me explain a little bit what I do for my roses. So about September in our area, I stop deadheading my roses and I let them go to hip to let them know that it's about time to get ready to go dormant for the winter. And then after we have our first frost, I'll come in and cut any long wild branches, and I'll cut mostly everything down to about hip height to get it ready for winter. I don't do any hard pruning. I save that for spring. That's the time that you want to do that. But I do like to get everything prepped and ready for winter and just kind of tucked away and tidy. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to take you along the process with me. I have quite a few roses. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing here in my rose garden where most of my roses are, but I am going to do that to all my roses in the yard. And I think I will show you my climbing rose too, just because that one is kind of wild and crazy right now. So that'll be nice for me to show you that. And then I have some Atlas roses in the back in a spot where the soil is terrible and they're struggling a little bit. So I'm going to come in with some compost and put some compost around the base of those just in that area. I won't put any more compost on my other roses. I'll save that for spring when they're starting to wake up. So that's what I'm going to do today, just get everything ready for the winter. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my rose gloves and then my Felco pruners. These are the Felco 6. And then I have some rubbing alcohol to spray on these between each rose so I'm not spreading any diseases. So let's get trimming this one. And then I'm just going to put everything in my wheelbarrow here. So I'm going to cut everything down to about this height. Oh, goodbye roses. I miss you. Okay. Feels kind of good to get everything tidied up though. I have just loved this rose. Every year this one flowers so much. This is the Molino. And it's one of my favorites. If you watch my channel, you know that because I've talked about it a lot, especially this summer. So nothing, it doesn't have to be perfect obviously because we're just cutting it back a little bit. So just taking off some of that height. I'm going to cut these that are kind of bent over too, just because I don't want snow weighing them down. But I also still want them to look tidy. And that's pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to spray. Go to my next rose. This is my Alnwick rose. We've gotten some more blooms out of it. Unfortunately, these guys didn't get a bloom for us. Piper, come here. Come here, girl. Stay here. Come. Come. Stay back here, okay? This one's really beautiful too. I actually have a rose garden tour. If you want to check that out, maybe I'll link it down below. I'll also link down the products that I'm using. These Felco pruners are awesome. Love them. I did come and cut back some of this a couple weeks ago, which probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but so there is a little bit of new growth. Okay, new rose. I'm gonna spray. This one is so wild. This is my Tranquility Rose. I don't know if I love how wild it is, to be honest. I wish this was tucked back a little further. It is pretty, but man, it just throws out these massive canes. Definitely want to cut back the height of these. The reason you want to wait for your first frost is because you don't want to have any fresh new growth. See this purple growth right here? This is where I cut it. And that will die back really easy because it's really sensitive to the cold because it's brand new. So that's why you want to wait for the first frost. And we finally had it. And I love these gloves. I don't feel any thorns. I feel them in my legs as I brush up against it. But these are awesome. Just got them off Amazon. And I feel like I'm cutting off more this year just because my roses, it's their third year. Some of them their fourth. No, third. And they're just massive. Hopefully you guys can see this. And then these are kind of laying over back here. And I'm going to get those because they'll get weighed down. So that looks pretty good. Probably just do this. Okay, spray this, and I'm gonna see what needs to be done to my climbing rose here. Kind of already got to it, but I think I'm gonna cut. Let me bring you in a little closer. These are growing out, and I cut them and they have this new growth, so I'm gonna cut this. And I am doing these on kind of a slant, just so you know. Almost, I'm gonna cut this back all the way because I don't want them growing forward. I want them to put all the energy up to these ones on the house. So that I'm going to leave. These I'll probably cut back just because I don't want them to get weighed down or blown in the wind. And they'll just be a little happier, I think. Okay, that's good. Not going to do too much more to this one. Maybe just get these ones that are growing out this way. So they don't get weighed down by the snow. Okay, it didn't record me cutting that one back, but I cut back my Olivia Rose and it looks a little bit better. Actually, I think I might take a little bit more off. I was talking all about this rose. I thought this was a James Galway climbing rose and then discovered it's actually Olivia, which is fine, but it's not a climbing rose, so I think I want to move it from this spot. I was going to do it this fall, but I got too tired. So I don't know, maybe I'll keep it here. Winter will give me some time to think about it. I don't have to decide that right now. Okay, I think that's a little better. And then this is one of my new bare root roses, Gabriel Oak, and so I'm going to cut these wild long canes off and leave the rest just how it is. Should be totally fine. Easy peasy. And now I'm going to move on to my other roses. So now my crazy wild Lady of Shalott rose. I'm going to just get rid of these long outside canes, so anything that's kind of sticking out, which is kind of a lot. Hopefully it'll be okay, but I feel like I need to cut these back to protect it. And then I'll do most of it in the spring. Look at this crazy one on the ground. Cutting that back. So this one can be a bush or a climber, Lady of Shalott. And I put it on this obelisk to have it be a climber, and it definitely wants to climb. Can't imagine the keep up with this, trying to contain it in a small bush. So it can go 12 feet tall. It's pretty awesome rose. I know you can't see me, but I'm back here just getting all the wild, crazy ones off. And I'm gonna get these tall ones off. I've never had it be this tall, so hopefully I'm not cutting too much, but definitely don't want to leave it to get broken. So I think these will definitely snap. In fact, I'm going to try to get a thicker branch down here. And I'll get a bigger piece out. This one I'm a little uncertain of. We'll see how it survives. Not sure how far to cut this one back. But I'll make more sense of it this spring. You want to go inside, Piper? Piper's whining. It's getting chilly. Okay, hang on. I'll let you in a minute. Okay, I think that's good. Oh dear. Let's pull this out. Try to move it around while I can to train it a little bit. Now that I can see it, okay, so I showed you how I cut back my knockout roses. I just mound them up with trim hedgers, not the electric ones. I just use the hand ones. I mound them really nicely shaped into a dome so I can put some Christmas light netting on top of it. It just makes it a lot easier. So I did cut those back, and then my Atlas roses are over there and ran out of time and I'm tired. I'll put compost on it tomorrow. Not gonna do it. We're kind of losing daylight here, and I've got to go inside and make dinner. Okay, and my Lady of Shalott Rose, this obelisk tends to keep tipping this way. It's driving me nuts, but got that all shaped up as best as I could. Oh, that rose is wild, you guys, but I love it. So that one's all tidied up. Nothing's gonna break from snow falling on it, so I think it should be totally fine. Let's check out the rest of the roses in the rose garden. Okay, it feels really good. I forgot to trim that lavender the other day. I need to get that one too, get at that tomorrow. I have a video of me doing that and cutting up some perennials. Okay, so this looks really good and tidy. I love it because it was looking a little wild for a while. Those branches are secured on a wire, and so they're totally fine. If they weren't, of course, I would be worried about them, but I think they're going to be just fine. I want to keep those roses growing up against this wall here. It's going to be so nice. And then, yeah, everything's tidied up. Looks good, all ready for winter. Not too much else to say about that. Now I will come in the spring and I will put down compost and my fertilizer mix, and everything will just bloom beautifully in June. So, okay. can't wait for that. So thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.